My next guest is making his way into the studio. It is Bruce Coleman. They have a new collaboration with our very own wonderful Vaughan Adams. They've got together for Dr. Bruce and the Electric Monkeys, and this is their second release called The Gateway.
Take a needle and cotton, gonna thread me some love. Make it fit real good like a hand in a glove. Well, I'm a freight train coming on a one-way track. Under the light of the moon, I'll be coming back. Oh, the gateway to this heart is off the latch. So if you wanna start a fire, then come and strike this match. Yeah, this road I'm on is going by too fast. Hold on tight and don't let go. With a whole lot of love, we could just keep running. A whole lot of loving in this old top drawer. I shine it all up like there's boots on the floor. And when the weight of the world starts leaning on you, way up and clap number 9, you know I'll pull you on through.
1 minute 50.
Oh, the gateway to this heart is off the latch. So if you wanna start a fire, then come and strike this match. Yeah, this road I'm on is going by too fast. Hold on tight and don't let go. With a whole lot of love, we could just keep running. Don't think once, don't think twice. Tingling all over, gonna feel real nice. I pray my soul to keep. I pray my soul to keep. Don't think once, don't think twice. 100 little things make it feel so nice. I pray my soul to keep. I pray my soul to keep. Oh, the gateway to this heart is off the latch. So if you wanna start a fire, then come and strike this match. Yeah, this road I'm on is going by too fast. Hold on tight and don't let go. With a whole lot of love, we could just get the gateway to this heart is off the latch. So if you wanna start a fire, then come and strike this match. Yes, this road I'm on is going by too fast. Hold on tight and don't let go. With a whole lot of love, we can just keep running.
Whoa, yeah, you heard it first right here on 89.7 on the Wednesday morning show. It is called The Gateway and is Dr. Bruce and the Electric Monkeys. My next guest is originally from New Zealand, and although music was not in his family, he began learning the piano at 7. Growing up, he was influenced by the Stones and the Beatles and was a big fan of Top of the Pops from London. He made his way to Australia thanks to a prize from Battle of the Bands in '69. Since then, he has performed in many bands, including the Troubadours, and fast forward to today, he has teamed up with our very own Vaughan Adams for a collaboration called Dr. Bruce and the Electric Monkeys. He is Bruce Coleman, and he joins me now. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Morning, Sue. Lovely to be here.
Oh, geez, we've just had a dance, haven't we?
Yeah.
That song is one hell of a catchy tune. You know,
Very
you
much
just,
so.
you know, you cannot listen to that without getting up and dancing, which is what we just did, Bruce.
We did. We danced crazily around the studio. It was
And we got the
fantastic.
clapping almost right. A couple of misbeats there, but we did it.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Look, it's great to have you on board. It really is. And this is what we love to do here on 89.7 and the Wednesday morning show is provide this platform for all our, up and coming musicians or people out there with new music. I alluded to you that there is a great history in music thus far. So as I said, you started when you were 7 learning to play the piano, and then I believe your dad came out and bought you,
piano.
updated a really nice piano for you, and it kind of just started from there, I guess.
He knew that I had something, so he went and spent all his money on an upright piano.
Yeah, yeah.
I was waiting in the lounge room. I came home from school one day.
Wow, and there it was.
I just had to become a piano player. There was nothing more to do. And be in a band eventually.
And as I said, there was no family musicians.
Not really, no.
So, so the piano was what kind of, instilled this, passion that grew over the years and then into the Stones, the Beatles and what I said,
it did. And hearing all that music that was around at the time was just so involving. And you had to learn to play those songs.
Yep.
Because what else could you do? So we learned to play them and got into a band and did various things. And then suddenly I was in this band that was starting to do some originals as well.
Yes.
And that band was called The High Riving Tongues.
Okay.
And this is the picture of the album, like on radio.
Oh, Tropic of Capricorn. So that was that, and you've got it on. You've bought the vinyl record in. Oh, very nice. I'll have to take a.
You have to pick Who I Am. Now.
Oh, okay. So there's 5 very handsome men looking very 60s in their psychedelic clothes, and on a beautiful vinyl record. And wow, I've got to pick
1967.
Oh, geez. Okay, sorry. We just got to stop for a second because I've got to pick. Oh, look, this is going to be hard. All right, I'm going to go for drum roll. I think this one.
He's the singer.
Oh, okay. All right, you better tell me.
It's the Yellow.
Yes,
yeah.
I almost went for that, and then I went for that.
Sleeves. Yeah, that's me.
Oh, look, great photo there, and what great memories too. And as I mentioned too, huge fan of Top of the Pops.
Top of the Pops from London was a thing. All we heard about English music, and it was played live. So we thought, well, if they can play it like that, we can play it almost as good as that. So we knew that what we were aiming for was the right thing. But getting back into that band. It just suddenly went on this race, and we recorded stuff.
Yep.
That album was recorded about probably 6 months after we formed, which is amazing.
Wow, that was
with some originals on there, and then we did. We went to Australia.
Yep.
And then we came back again because we were going to win, or we were told we might win the Golden Loxine Gold Disc Award in 1969.
Yes, I read that.
We came back to New Zealand, and we had this ballad by Demis Roussos called Rain and Tears, which wasn't really our style.
Yep.
And it won the group award for New Zealand.
So Dennis had written that for you guys?
No, he recorded it for himself many years ago.
Okay.
And our record producer said, you should record this. And we said, but it's nothing like what we do. Big ballad. But everyone voted for it.
Okay. And that's the prize that got you back to Australia?
No, the next prize was a prize. We decided to go on a boat around the world.
Okay. Right.
So we applied for the job.
Okay.
12 weeks free trip right around the world, playing on board for an hour every day, and in port nothing because everyone was in port. So we saw the world for nothing.
Oh, fantastic. So I guess in thinking that would probably go down as one of your most memorable experiences at the moment. Yeah.
And then eventually I got to WA and I joined a band that a lot of people would probably remember called the Troubadours.
Yes, of course.
And I was round and round the countryside with them.
Yep.
How many times across the Nullarbor, I hate to think, when it was red dust.
What did you all have, like a big van that you all got into?
It was like a convoy of cars, and there was a bus with all the gear in it.
Yep.
A Toyota bus.
Yep.
And probably one of the best things I did with the Troubadours was we played at the Opera House a week before it was officially opened by the Queen.
I read
because they wanted to test the acoustics.
Yeah.
So we got on stage with Barry Crocker, a few other people, and it was fantastic because they had an audience. And that was probably the first time I really got sort of sweaty palms to get out in front on this stage and play at the Opera House.
Yeah.
And that was fantastic just to do that. So I can say I have played in the Opera House.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the next one was probably playing one of the first bands to play at the casino, the first casino in Australia, which was in Hobart. So I just travelled around the countryside like a gypsy.
Yeah, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Also wanted to ask you, going back to when you first arrived in Australia, and you stayed in King's Cross, and you played your first gig at, is it called Hair Disco? You talk about the Astra Hotel Bondi too, which was quite a seedy hotel. Tell us about that. I like that story.
The Underground used to make it there. I think it was owned by the Criminals.
Yeah.
And of course, we shifted in there to do a residency, and it was a strange place. It was sort of, we went up. You had to go upstairs to this room, a room where Peter Finch had been a waiter many years ago, a famous actor.
Yeah.
And it made into a sort of a room we could dance. And so we went up there, and about 3 days after we shifted in there, we went upstairs to rehearse.
Yep.
And half the gear was gone.
Oh,
my keyboard had gone, the drum kit had gone, some amplifiers had gone. So we were in this panic. And it turned out that someone said, if you go upstairs, you can take some gear and maybe sell it on the street to these criminal underworld guys. So they did.
So you never saw it again?
Never again.
And never got compensated, obviously, by anybody?
Well, there was a bit of insurance, I think, but nah. No.
Oh,
and then we went down to even a seedier place called the Whiskey A Go-Go, which was a fantastic place in King's Cross.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the R&R guys would come from
I'd
Vietnam.
love to see that, yeah.
And they would arrive in the plane.
Yep.
They'd be given a girl to stay with for 2 weeks.
Yep.
And buy them furs and diamonds and stuff, come down to the Whiskey A Go-Go. So we were playing to the Yanks.
Yeah.
Most of them were American in that audience. And it was fantastic. We played from 9 till 3. With 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, and the Go-Go Girls would play in the 20 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we'd play right till 3 o'clock in the morning, and we'd get paid £100 for the week, or $100 or something.
Yeah.
So 6 nights a week, 6 hours a night.
Oh, I want to talk more about that. We just must hear from our sponsors, so we'll just take a little break. We'll come back with more straight after this. We're talking to Bruce Coleman. Stay tuned. 11 o'clock, we currently have in the studio Bruce Coleman. Bruce, we were just talking off air, you know, the passion for the music, and you have it too. On a day-to-day basis, you play music all the time. What are you listening to?
I'm very eclectic, is that the word?
Yes, that is. I can't say that.
Rock. I can't even say it very well either. Country rock. I go from country rock to some of the American songbook.
Okay. Oh, right.
40s and 50s, because I love to play that on the piano because it's great chords to play on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I've got books of that sort of music. You know, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and all that sort of stuff. Way back to that.
Nice.
Plus the rock and roll.
Yes,
when you hear some rock and roll, you know, this is where I came from.
Yes, exactly.
Rock and roll, Stones, Beatles, and so I listen to quite a wide range of music, and it just filters through you, and you get ideas like Vaughan does, you know, gets ideas for songs, and we try not to reference it too much, but it'll always be in a song that you write.
Of course. And have I got this right? You also toured with Mungo Jerry, Brotherhood of Man, Daddy Cool and Slade. Did you meet these guys?
Yeah.
Oh, did you? So who was the ultimate?
Well, we were on tour with these guys, and we were sort of probably at the bottom of the bill, but we got to meet those guys. Like Mungo Jerry played, you know, in the summertime when the weather is fine, you can stretch right up. And then all he had was a double bass and a honky-tonk piano on stage, and the guy playing guitar, he was the singer.
Yeah.
And they were an amazing band, and we had Slade, who was loud and edgy and colourful, and high-heeled guitarist.
Yeah, yeah.
They were just loud, but they were great. And then Daddy Cool came along, and they were fantastic.
Eagle Rock.
And, you know, it was a mighty tour. But unfortunately, in those days, I don't know, it just sort of petered out. It didn't quite get right around the country. We didn't come to Perth.
Ah, okay. All right.
But it was a good tour to be on.
And you must elaborate on this story about this mystery train trip with none other than Mike Willesee. What's the story about that?
In the old days, he had a thing called, whatever his show was called, he was a current affairs show.
Yep, yep.
And we invited all those people that were in the know to come on a train trip, and we got on in Sydney Station.
Yep.
Everyone came on, you know, drinks and cheese and wine, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and we set up in one of the carriages and played just a bit, not a lot. And people just wandering around. We went out to a mystery station and came back in. It was a big promotion on the song.
Yeah.
And of course, then we lost that guy that was helping us sort of survive financially. He just went broke and stuff like that. So we were recording an album, and then it ended up just staying in the can. It never sort of got released, and we never got a single out. And then probably about 18 months down the track, in came the Kiwis, which was Dragon and Split Ends.
Of course.
So we were just the advance party for those guys. And,
yes, you'd warmed up the kind of
it was unfortunate. We were close to it, but we just didn't make it. So I'm hoping that Dr. Bruce and the Electric Monkeys might become, you know, rocket to fame.
Exactly. Well, look, I'm going to play the previous release, Heaven on the Phone, and then we're going to come back and talk about your collaboration with
Mr. Vaughan Adams.
The wonderful Mr. Vaughan Adams. Let's hear this one first. It's Heaven on the Phone.
Cadillac, so shiny, sleek and long. Oh, baby, babe, I feel a long night coming on. She weaves a magic, it's so right at being wrong. Somebody save me, get me heaven on the phone.
Hold the line, please.
Bless my soul, she's rock and roll. She can shake and rattle, roll me, cut me down to the bone. I said, bless my soul, she's rock and roll. 4 aces on the table, get me heaven on the phone. She's got hooks in me, I know I'm long, long gone. So far gone, I just can't tell my left from wrong. This kind of on the phone.
Putting you through.
Bless my soul, she's rock and roll. She can shake and rattle, roll me, cut me down to the bone. I said, bless my soul, she's rock and roll. 4 aces on the table, get me heaven on the phone.
Woo! That was great. Oh, Bruce, look, let's talk about this now. You met up. I think you met Vaughan Adams a long time ago,
Yeah.
but you've just suddenly got together and you've created this thing that's called Dr. Bruce and the Electric Monkeys. Look, that's 2 songs now. They are both so catchy.
Yes,
And
they are.
you know that song that we just played. So tell us about the idea behind this.
Well, I met Vaughan when he played in a band, and we played in a band together. He was the lead singer of the last band we played live in, which was a
right.
great last hurrah for playing live music, because everyone in the band was fantastic.
Yep.
We could all sing.
Yep.
And we had a gutsy sort of... we just played, the music we played was really good, and Vaughan was out the front. So when the band stopped playing...
Yep.
In 2009, 2010,
Yep.
he said, let's just write some stuff. So that's what we've been writing since then.
Okay, yeah. So,
So-
you've got a lot of
And then in 2018, he said, I've written a song for you can sing, and we recorded with the voice,
Yep.
the vocals on it. And then when he got into his video production, he said, I want to do a video of you now, so you've got to come back to the studio.
Yeah.
Sit on the green
the
screen.
videos are great, aren't they?
Sit on the green screen, and and we just worked our way through it.
Yeah.
And it just came out so good. I can't believe how it's just so exciting, because it's not bubble gum, it's not rock. You can't really describe it, and it's got an appeal.
Yeah.
An ageless appeal.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's I could see it being played on every radio station. It is very catchy, it's very upbeat. And as you say, it's not, pointed at some, at a particular age group. It's just, I think everybody will love it.
Yep.
I know at the time I played it to my daughter, who's in her 30s, and she absolutely loved
That's
it. She
great.
said it was fantastic, So, look, we are running out of time. We've only got 6 minutes left to news. So where to from here?
I'm just going to keep on working with Vaughan.
Yep.
He's going to, we sort of have this idea that we might put a CD together or something like that. But like you say, we have to get it out there into the world.
Yep.
So people understand what the music that Vaughan writes and the words that he writes. And he sings, I sing. We might even have a double act. Dr.
Exactly.
Bruce and the Electric Monkeys and Vaughan Adams on tour.
Precisely, I can see that. Look, we have run out of time, but before we let you go, we're going to play a quick game with you.
Okay, go.
It's called Fast Five. So I'm going to give you Fast Five questions. You give me Fast Five answers. Are you ready? Number 1, most memorable moment thus far.
Most memorable moment is playing in the last band I was playing in with Vaughan, called The Way, and that was fantastic because we went out on a high.
Number 2, if you could change one thing that happened in the course of your life, what would it be?
Probably to become famous earlier, but I'm happy now.
Well, that's great. Number 3, what makes you laugh out loud?
Anything that's I have a reasonably good sense of humour, a good joke, a good Seinfeld, I don't know, something like that.
Number 4, a famous artist that you'd like to spend the day with, whether the artist is still alive or not.
Oh, Van Morrison.
Oh, perfect. And last question. If you could be a fly on the wall, to any wall, whose wall would you like to sit on and hear their conversation? Bit of a tough one, isn't it?
Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right now.
I want to hear what's going on.
Bruce Coleman, it has been my absolute pleasure to have you on the show. It truly has. And this is, as I said, what we do here. We love to showcase and provide a platform for all local music and artists and stuff. And I just really do hope that this Dr. Bruce and Electric Monkeys thing, with collaboration artist Vaughan Adams, who is such a well-loved musician on this station, goes somewhere, because these songs really deserve to get out there.
Take it to the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I reckon we watch this space and you're going to come back shortly.
Thank you, Sumek.
Okay, you're welcome.
Lovely talking to you.
Likewise. Okay, let's go out with this version of Boots Were Made for Walking with Nadia.